All right, pre-show shenanigans. Massive groundbreaking news yesterday. I'm pulling in to a local gas station. While I'm pulling in, I see a big rig. Okay, it's an RV, but I see a big rig pulling out of this gas station. I don't know what crossed my mind, but someone, some presence told me check who's driving that RV. So something said, Grant, you need to look. I take a little gander, a little bit closer. I see a man with, I don't know how to describe this. It's prescription glasses that transition into sunglasses, depending on if there's light out or not. I saw that immediately and I go, all right, that's the first. Second, I see it is a snapback hat, but it is brimmed in a way that snapback did not come brimmed, okay? It was brimmed with a specific angle in the middle of the hat that I know whoever's wearing this, when they got this hat, the first thing they did was bend that shit.
Snap that thing right in half.
Bend that shit, okay, like Clayton Kershaw before he put it on. And so those are the first two checks. And then I look a little bit closer and I just see a slight grin like this. And I'm like, oh, there's only one person that could be. It was Jim Harbaugh in this RV pulling out of this gas station. I've never been more positive in my life. That was Jim. I couldn't see through all the way in the van. There was no one in the passenger seat ever. There's like an 85% chance Jim Harbaugh was just taking a little joyride around the town in his RV.
Now, Grant, I mean, I'll just say
it was
this,
at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30. So I doubt he was about to start a road trip.
The time of it, and the location in which the gas place is, both make a strong case that it is Mr. Harbaugh. All right, I'll say that. But
there is a slight chance it could have been John. Okay,
but it was still a Harbaugh.
I can confirm forensic testing, it was a Harbaugh.
It's not very easy to mistake them for other people. So now, Grant, here's my questions. I have a couple of questions. One, when we're saying RV, are we talking like a big camping RV, or are we talking like a Hummer?
You could fit a village in this RV ever. It was so big.
Now
it was like a tour bus.
Now my next question.
It was a tour bus.
My next question and a half. One, do we think he's driving it to all of the college pro days that he's attending and he holds interviews in them? And two, do we think that he is having Mike McDaniel with a slumber party in the RV?
All right. I highly doubt Mike McDaniel has gotten the invite, nor does Mike McDaniel know Jim Harbaugh has an RV. So that's what I believe as things stand. However, it would be the least surprising thing of all time if I saw Greg Roman in that shotgun seat.
Even though he is not on the team anymore.
The least surprising thing if I saw G-Row in that shotgun seat. I didn't, but man, I would have recognized Greg Roman first, okay? I probably would have recognized him.
Do we
first.
think that Jim has he's got the reserved parking spot right at the bowl? Do we think that during the offseason he comes in with the RV, and so instead of sleeping in the office, he sleeps in the RV?
Now,
in the parking lot.
That step, I have no idea, but I could see Harbaugh. It's probably not that far of a drive, his house to the bowl. I could see him commuting during spring ball, summer workouts, OTAs. I could see him commuting in his RV. Just to like get some grit, all right, get some momentum going internally, and it's a signal to himself. We're about to start an adventure.
It reminds me of
we're going on a journey.
It reminds me of the Hard Knocks from the Browns, Baker Mayfield's rookie year, where they forced all the quarterbacks to sleep in one RV the entirety of OTAs.
Yeah, now that's a different type of bonding, which I'm not sure if. I don't think it'd be the best idea if Jim Harbaugh forced
Justin Herbert,
Trey Lance, and I believe the third stringer last year.
It's not Easton Stick anymore.
Nah, he's long gone. Unfortunately, great soldier, excellent soldier. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Harbaugh takes that RV out, pulls up to the stadium.
It was Max
around
Duggan,
OTAs.
wasn't it? It was Max Duggan. He's the
Yeah,
QB3.
I think
He's the
Max Duggan
QB3.
actually
It's Maxi
might
D.
still be there.
It might be Maxi D.
It'd be good for him if he is. Good
His
for
time
him
might
if
be
he's on the
coming very
squad.
soon, but I
His
think
time may have expired 4 months ago. I've heard it.
Yeah,
But
my bad.
yeah, I know that was Jim. I know that was him in that RV. And yeah, I guess the better
Please
question
tell.
is,
I guess you didn't look if there needs to be a custom license plate.
I did not verify or
that information.
That's a
that we
big
need to
miss.
know. Yeah,
That was a big miss.
yeah.
I know it was his RV because I promptly looked up afterwards Jim Harbaugh RV Chargers because I know there's a video and it was the RV. It was
just from a pure economic standpoint. I need to know how much gas that cost, like how much it costs to get the gas for that.
Yeah, now he was pulling out of the gas station,
which also, you know what, that almost helps it being Harbaugh because there's not a lot of people who can afford to fill up an RV in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, and keep in mind, this is on Sunday, March 1st. It is the O-Lineman NFL Combine Day, and he's in this RV, which, questions were raised. Why is Coach in an RV Sunday at like 2:30 p.m., day of the Combine? And my only explanation is he had just wrapped up at the Bowl and was just getting... He might have to get gas like twice a week in that thing. It's big, Everett. It is big, okay? Like, I can't exaggerate this anymore.
It's an RV mansion.
It is a house on wheels, okay?
It's not zero. Like, he had just gotten back from, like, Indy.
There's a really, really high chance that that's actually what happened. I will say that there was no one... There could have been someone far back in that RV. It's big. But there was no one shotgun. I feel like if you're driving I feel like if you're driving the RV, you'd want someone shotgun. And I feel like Harbaugh would be like, nobody crosses the median of this RV. The front is I am in control. This is my time, everyone. Everybody else, don't mess with me right now. I could see that too.
Maybe he had Joe Alt in there with him just to get that, the camping spirit going.
For vibes.
Vibes.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of vibe in there.
No words spoken.
Oh, no, absolutely none.
Halfway through, oh shit, we didn't turn on the music yet. Halfway through, they're like, oh shit, we've been sitting in silence for 5 hours. And then they're like, oh yeah, let me turn on some throwbacks, and Jim Harbaugh just plays like
Steely. What would be really funny if it's like you got Harbaugh in there, he's quiet. Joe Alt's in there, he's quiet. Justin Herbert's in there, he's quiet. And then, Grant, you just have Derwin James, and he's having a fucking hell of a time.
Oh, yeah. Derwin would light that room up like it's nothing. I'm thinking
everybody's quiet, and Derwin's just...
QJ's afraid to speak. Aronde's probably uncomfortable in there, so he's not talking. Hampton is certainly not even making noise when he breathes, knowing that he played 4 games last year. So Hampton is a mouse in the back of this RV. If there's anyone that's most vocal, it would definitely be Derwin. Or it would be Diane Henley would be 80% of the sounds being made in that RV. Whatever noises he decides to make, it's up to him, really. But yeah, no, that was Coach in an RV. He's gritting and grinding, folks. I can confirm that. All right. He's full grit. He might be starting grit quarter. It might be grit quarter starting in April. Full April to June, full grit. So we got big things planned. And that was man, did that spice up my Sunday?
That makes a big difference.
No more Sunday scaries after that. It was Sunday sunshine. Okay. But without further ado, time for the episode. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 373, and the NFL Combine has wrapped. Just talking about a little bit there. In other news in the sports world, World Baseball Classic begins in 5 days on March 7th, I believe. Either
so.
either that's the US's first game or that's the first day of the World Baseball Classic.
I think it's
One or the other.
collective. I think it's collective.
Yeah, I'd imagine
Because they're in Arizona right now still, so they haven't even traveled.
Well, I think some have. So Shohei's in Japan.
Well, I'm saying the United States team has not traveled.
Oh, sure. So
I would assume they all have to be
don't
there at
know
like the same time for this.
where they're playing this. Do you know
Tokyo.
where?
Remember we talked about this last time. They're playing in
yes.
Japan, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so they should probably like hit that flight today.
Now, Grant,
that's
I'm
a
just
bit of
going to
a
say
long
this.
one.
I'm just going to say this because this is on topic. So Scooball, their second game is against Great Britain. Logan Webb will be the starter for opening day, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Logan Webb is representing across the pond for Great Britain.
No,
I was like, wow,
I mean, it kind of would have made
that.
Visually, it kind of makes sense. He seems like he'd be maybe a little British.
He's definitely in the rotation for Team USA. No,
yes,
no?
he's the starter.
Okay,
he's day one. He's our day one starter. But for round robin, Logan Webb's taking on first day, and then Scooball will be pitching day 2 against Great Britain. Grant, he's going to pitch 55 pitches and then promptly fly back to Detroit for spring training.
I literally don't even know who's on Great
At
Britain's
that point, don't even pitch, dude. At that point, don't even fucking pitch.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
maybe he really wants like sushi or something. Like I don't know really what's in it for him.
The only explanation is he's never been to Japan and he wants to visit. That's the only acceptable.
Quite literally, I honestly think this is like the biggest.
And the Detroit Tigers aren't personally flying him back from Japan afterwards. So I don't know how is he?
This is back? Actually they might be well. For Scooball, no. After they offered him 19 mil or whatever arbitration, they're definitely not.
They definitely are, but I mean,
they're definitely
someone's
not.
Trying to cut corners.
No. Right he's having 8 different layovers.
Someone's like, could we just like post him in business? He's like, are you guys really?
No, he's an economy, Grant. Yeah, I'll be honest though. That's kind of the biggest Charmin Ultra Soft move out of anybody really that could have been possible. Like if you're going to be on Team USA, especially after what we just saw in the Olympics,
you're the best pitcher on earth.
Represent the United States, dude. Like
let's make that point clear. He's the best pitcher on earth.
If your spring training is really that important to you, do the spring training first and then come in once round robin is over. Don't leave after making one appearance.
It's like
crazy.
I can understand it's contract year. I get it. But no, it's either you're part of the team, you're in it for the entire ride, or you're not. Like, we can't be doing this one start then gone thing.
Not even one start. It's half a start. He is a pitch clock, Grant. He's a pitch count.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are we doing?
55 pitches. What? 3 innings, maybe? Depends. It depends.
Yeah, against Great Britain, there's a chance he can get through 6.
It could be 6. But yeah, we'll say 3 innings. Like
I just think it's something where if you just compare the American players' kind of approach to it versus Dominicans' approach versus Puerto Rican approach, Japanese approach, of course, like they're in it for this. And it seems.
Well, I think it depends on the player. Like, really, I honestly just think it's Scooball. I think most of the other players on Team USA are in it. Like,
I think for a good amount, like Trout is going hard as shit right now. And he's
also really wants to win.
Yeah, he's gonna go hard. Like, I'm pretty sure Kyle Tucker is going to be starting on that team. He's probably going to go pretty hard for this.
I think Bobby
Witt's going nuclear for this one right now. Judge is going to obviously be trying his ass off for this.
Will Smith, probably not, though.
Yeah. I also have no idea if he's
playing or not
because Big Dumpy.
I don't think he's starting. I don't think he's starting.
Yeah, and if he's going to be the backup, then it's just like, all right, I'm not going to go.
He might DH. They might put him on a DH.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I haven't like really spent too much time thinking about the Team US roster, but I would imagine. I'm thinking out. The team's pretty damn good. I don't know. I don't know if Mookie's gonna get in there. Probably not. He might just off of name, literally. Like another thing about Mookie that I keep bringing up about last season, and I know him and Freddie were not that great, but the pitchers they go up against still fear them and still respect them and still pitch around them. And like even if the numbers aren't great, like Mookie, for example, I think, hey, if Dave is the manager for Team USA, then he's going to start him, of course. But uh, I think there's a chance that Mookie could just still start on this team, even though they are not expecting the world out of him. But it's like if he's your 7 hitter, it's like, all right, you need to.
Well, the one thing
pitch.
with Mookie, they can kind of put him whatever position they need, just like
that's another thing.
I also think for the round robin, like we're not playing Japan or the DR in the round robin. Like you can go and have like 6 different lineups if you combination of lineups, just see what works, to be honest, and like just sub players and see what meshes. And then when we get out of the round robin, then just go with what works best. But either way, Screwball will not be a part of that. Softest decision I have seen from a player or person representing the United States in any sport in a very long time.
I'm seeing the Team USA schedule in the group stages, confirmed games. At Brazil, Great Britain, Mexico, Italy.
Yeah. Nothing I'm concerned about.
Now, I will say this. Italy, if the Italian East Coast American players all suit up for Italy, they probably would be crazy. But
true. Hey, that's fair.
They probably would be, but
they just happen to be American, though. So
yeah.
Unlike Screwball, they will try to represent their country for the entire tournament.
Yeah, but this should be exciting. This is coming up. I got this. The 6th is the first official game. Team USA, though, today, when this comes out, at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Now, which day would that be?
March 3rd, Tuesday, when you're listening. Team USA
putting the clock on the editor.
The Giants, okay?
The Giants.
San Francisco Giants going up against Team USA.
So what happens if you're on the Giants and on Team USA? Do you just flip jerseys each side? Like
you're playing for USA. You're playing for USA.
It would be kind of funny if like you ran from the outfield with the Giants jersey on, flipped it inside out, USA jersey, went to go bat. Like
for Logan Webb in this one, he's in the US dugout. He's probably laughing at his manager over there, probably laughing at him while he's sitting over there. But yeah, no, that is coming up. That's going to be great. I am with the Olympics. It's a little bit more exciting this year, and World Cup coming. It's a big international year, so
it is very
We're
big.
going to do our best to get baseball some recognition here. We're going to try our best. No guarantees, but we're going to try.
But yeah, I mean, Grant, the big thing from this past week is the NFL Combine, and there's a lot to talk about and not a lot to talk about at the same time. Like, look, we had, I think overall, like almost every single position group besides maybe quarterback, I think it was besides quarterbacks, had the fastest 40 times ever for the position groups. So like that's big note. Jordan Tyson, I think, was 6 reps short of Aaron Donald on the bench press. So like that was sick.
Is that the only thing he did?
The bench? No, I think he'd run drills too. I mean, we also had Mekhi Lemon looking like a snake, a snake charmer, maybe moving around a little bit. A lot of stuff going on. But Grant, I have a couple observations to talk about here. First things first. And obviously, this kind of applies more so to maybe people who are more fantasy inclined. I feel like for dynasty owners, this is a little bit interesting for you guys.
Even normal fantasy people.
Even normal. Mike Washington, Grant, he's kind of the Isaac Garriendo of this class, meaning didn't really have much like notice before the combine, came out of the combine, ran a 4.3 340, had a 39-inch vertical, a 10-foot 8 broad jump. Basically was top of the class in almost everything. He's 6'1", 225 pounds. So not a small guy, and he's a fast guy. So that's somebody who probably will run up boards here. And I mean, it's kind of seems like, Love is going to be the first running back either way. And it seemed like Jadarian Prince was going to be RB2, but it's possible to see
Price, yes.
Price. I don't know why I said Prince. There's not even an N in his name. Sorry.
He's been Love's like backup pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why I said Prince, but Mike Washington is potentially now the RB3 in this class. Jordan Tyson obviously looked good. Carnell Tate ran a 4.53, I think, a little disappointing on that, but you've seen more games of him playing than I have. So I don't know if that's kind of just different.
I've just seen
speed,
lists of 4-5 receivers recently, and then list of like 4-3 and 4-2 wide receivers. And yeah, my takeaway is speed isn't everything at receiver anymore. Yeah,
it's
no,
not.
Carnell though, the Waterboy Grant official stance, clear bust. Anyone would be an absolute idiot even looking at him on their draft board. Chargers like pick like 57. Yeah, lock that shit in right now.
Now, in all
Right
seriousness, though, where would you stack him up against the Makai Lemons and Jordan Tysons? Because it's really that trio of Makai Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate being 1, 2, 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, I would say quick ranking of them three based on just what I've seen in college.
You could talk about the
Lemon
combine
1,
too.
Tate 2, Tyson 3. Based on some different analytical graphs I've seen recently, and considering other things like, not even really combine stuff, but more so cross-referencing these guys with current NFL receivers. I'm going to still actually have Lemon. I'm still gonna have Lemon there. I would say Lemon, Tyson, Tate, if I'm like thinking of all those other
Which
things.
is interesting with everybody kind of consensusly seems like Tate will be the first wide receiver off the board right now. So that's just interesting.
At post combine, you still think?
I haven't seen much change in it really. I've just seen more wide receivers come into the first round. Like Omar Cooper has come into the first round. Chris Brazel's potentially been in there, and I'll talk about him in a second because obviously I know him to a degree, but just yeah, like I've still seen him kind of. It's been a little bit more weird. Like it's not like it's consensus anymore, but like there still are people saying that is the case, and I think pro day will be different because some people individually clocked him going like a 4.45 40 rather than a 4.5. So I think it just depends, and I think a lot of people are just knocking him publicly because of the speed. But other wide receivers talking about Grant, Chris Brazel, former Tulane player, now at Tennessee. He is 6'4". He ran a 4.37, 4.47, something like that. 4.37. Good wide receiver. I don't know how well he's going to transition in the NFL. I haven't really talked to him in the last 2 years or so, but Tulane, he just came out and played. You didn't really need to know that much. So that's kind of more of the question there with him in my mind.
Yeah, I'd say two receivers lower down. They didn't run the greatest 40s, but two guys I'm really high on based on how good they were at college football is Jacoby Lane and Jeremy Bernard. Bernard specifically, oh my God.
I like Jacoby Lane.
Bernard's going to be crazy.
Jacoby Lane had a good combine as well. Jacoby Lane
yeah, Jacoby's was pretty good. I'm seeing 4.47 for Lane, 4.48 for Bernard. So I guess, yeah, people are like slightly concerned about speed there, but those two guys are like, very good.
That's still marginally, not even marginal. That's still above average for wide receiver speed. Like that's
I feel like right now how guys are testing, it's like we're seeing so many 4.3s right now.
This is also the fastest wide receiver class that we've ever had come out of the combine.
Okay, sure. There's that to consider too. So I think though it's like Tate's even lumped in that crowd, but like Jeremy Bernard and Jacoby, those are two guys where if you just watch what they do in college, you're just like,
oh yeah, no, I've seen a lot of one-handed catches out of Jacoby.
Who the hell are those people? They're both crazy. Like specifically Jeremy, that Alabama offense was literally him.
Now,
so
talking about USC guys, talking about college players, Zachariah Branch, another wide receiver, did pretty well at the combine. Two things to say. Still 5'9", not knocking height. You could play at 5'9" in the NFL, but Grant, 53% of his receptions in college were on screen routes. And I get just, throwing
Now,
screens and letting the guy run. But like, if your route tree is 53% screen
that's
routes,
crazy.
that is horrific.
Because that's not targets. That's just routes ran. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So this isn't targets. This is just every single route you ran at Georgia, correct? Not
yes.
at Georgia.
It might be over his career, to be honest. I think it was just Georgia, though.
I think it's at Georgia. And I will say there is a slight caveat there. Their OC, is it still Bobo? Is it still? The dude's actually like a hindrance to the growth of Georgia football long term, and he's stunting the development. As an Ohio State fan, nothing makes me happier than knowing Bobo is their OC. But yeah, no. Like, he gets a slight pass because his OC is like actually an incompetent moron like Greg Roman. But that's potentially the highest screen rate I've ever seen of like
it's honestly crazy
receiver prospect that's supposed to be drafted, regardless what route. Like, I've never seen a screen rate that high. And as a guy who had Malachi Corley in Dynasty, screen guys do not translate to the NFL. They just don't. And so I hate to say it, but Zach Branch is off my board.
It's cooked. Off
my
board as well. Now, honestly, Grant, we haven't even talked about this. The biggest thing from the combine, the I think honestly the talk of the town, really, for the entire thing. Grant, Sonny Styles. Yeah,
so Sonny Styles was the big winner of the combine. Certainly the big winner of the combine. He fastest linebacker 40, tied with Arvell. So still fastest linebacker 40 at this combine. I believe he's the only player in NFL combine history until Kenyon Sadiq did it the next day. But him and Kenyon Sadiq are the only players to weigh over 240 pounds at the combine and have a plus 43-inch vert. So over 43 inches, only players ever.
Mm-hmm.
So absolute freak there as well. I have no idea what like his bench or other stuff is, but what stuck out to me the most is on that relative athletic score thing going around. Sonny Styles is a perfect prospect, obviously at linebacker. He's also a perfect prospect at safety. He used to play safety in high school, got recruited to Ohio State as a safety. But one step further, he would also be a perfect 10-star athlete as a cornerback as well.
You're talking about Combine 10.
Yeah,
the RAS score.
Score. Okay. He would also be a perfect 10 at corner. And then finally, my favorite, he would be a perfect 10 athlete at wide receiver.
This is quite literally the definition of what people were talking about, like Jabril and Isaac Simmons being like, they can be.
Yeah, this is like Isaiah Simmons, like if it was actually a good football player.
True,
okay?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what this is. But in the sense of he can do many things, you look at the freak athleticism, and if you're a NFL DC shit, your mind goes places that it has never gone before because you didn't know these people existed.
That's like what Josh Metellus did like 2 years ago on the Vikings defense, where he played like every position on the field on defense. Like he literally played it on the field. Let me clarify. That's great. And it allows DCs to be able to be like, hey, I can put you wherever on the field and you'll do well. However, Grant, his predominant position should still be linebacker.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Okay, Sonny, the Ohio State fan breakdown of him as a football player. First things first, I'll say is Sonny, really big-time recruit. He started as a safety. He showed up to Ohio State, same height. He hasn't grown since. So, you know, maybe that's a red flag. Okay, 6'4" at 17, hasn't grown since. Maybe you're like, what's going on? Obviously, it doesn't matter. But showed up as a safety, was 210. The Ohio State DB coach was pretty much just like, you need to lose weight to play for me. And Sonny was just a big boy with a big frame. And the coaches were just like, he could probably get up to 240 and still run a 4.4, which he ended up doing. So they were like, no, we're bulking you up because you could actually maintain this weight. maintain your speed when you add on weight. They move him to linebacker last season, national championship year. Sonny starts alongside Cody Simon. I would say that first month as a starter, Everett, he was one of the biggest concerns in my personal life on a week-to-week basis. Every single week, I was like, how is Sonny Styles going to mess up? How is he going to F up horribly next week? And around halfway through that season, week 5, week 6, week 7, something just flipped. And now you never heard his name on the broadcast. And I mean that in the best way possible.
Very good way.
No missed tackles. He's not blowing anyone up in the backfield or anything, but he is making every single tackle, no missed tackles. In that sense, you don't want to hear his name, and it's good. But I literally believe since those first couple games, I actually think he is the only player on Ohio State to have improved every single week since when he first started. I literally saw improvement every single week. And with that in mind, knowing his background, his dad, former Ohio State player, NFL player, his older brother set the corner 40 time for this year. He comes from a very athletic family, a very serious family about football and athletics. You could tell Sonny, although he's like a great guy right now in terms of like analytics, testing measurements, great freak prospect. Like, I know he's not satisfied with it, and like he doesn't even care, and he's just gonna want to improve and get better. So I can't say enough great things about Sonny in terms of like character, work ethic. Obviously, you look at the results, the testing. The dude's clearly a freak athlete. All these things. I will just say though, considering his position, what you were bringing up earlier, he's an inside linebacker. That is his position. He is not a safety. If you put him back at safety, who just ran that 4.26 wide receiver? What's his name?
Someone ran a 4.26. I wasn't.
Dash here. Let me pull it up. Brennan Thompson 4.26. Yeah. Oh, yes. Dusting Sonny. If you try to cover him at safety. So no, I would not put him at safety. Putting him at strong, even in like a heavy one high safety box, bringing the strong down, I wouldn't even really suggest that either. Put him at Mike, put him at Will. That's what he plays. So don't mess this up. Whoever takes him, don't mess it up. Let him play linebacker. That's what he does.
Maybe you can have a couple plays here and there where you move him around a little bit, but
like, sure, in theory, if he was at a new position and working on it, like, sure, in 3 years he might be great at it, but he might be elite at linebacker in 2 seasons if you play him there. He might be crazy. So with that,
that's why hey, mock drafts are having him already as a top 10 pick. If you're drafting a linebacker in the top 10, that better be what you're doing.
Yeah, hey, he better be Fred Warner. That's what scouts are comparing him to. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's high praise. That is high praise. That is literally the highest praise you could get out of a current NFL player. That's like setting the most pressure you could on a player in that position as possible, comparing him to Fred Warner. So yeah, but I think he plays inside linebacker. Arvell Reese, he played more snaps at inside linebacker, but he's more of like that Trayvon Walker, oh shit, what could happen in 2 years? And with Arvell, I would suggest full-time DN. At Ohio State, we have DNs that get a lot of NIL money, and they're going to be playing DN, not the outside linebacker. So that's just how Ohio State, we run a 4-3. That's what Ohio State does. With Matty P, it was switching up to a little bit of a 5-man front. But at the end of the day, Ohio State is a 4-3. Arvell just was not given opportunities to play outside. And yeah, he should be drafted as a stand-up DN in the NFL.
Now, here's the next thing. You just mentioned his name a little bit ago when you're starting to talk about Sonny. Let's talk about Kenyon Sadiq. He is consensusly tight end 1 this year, 6'3", 240 pounds. He ran a 4.4 40, a 4.39 40. He had a 43.5-inch vertical and had a 11'1" inch just jump in the broad jump. Here's the thing, though. Here's the biggest thing that I've heard about Kenyon Sadiq. Grant, he might not be able to block. And
Is that what you've heard?
that is what I've heard. I don't know how serious these accusations are.
I think you need to report whoever told you that information. They're completely wrong.
So
Absolutely wrong. This
here's
dude is a game wrecker in the run game. Okay, a horrifying guy. He is excellent. Like, he does everything. I would say
here's
if
my
there's
question.
like a concern, it is some receiving production at college. But hey, what colleges are throwing to their tight end that much anyway?
Here's my question now, Grant. Here's my question. Let's think about this from a fantasy.
I'm gonna have a counter question to your question.
Okay, let's think about this from a fantasy football situation in a world where Kenyon Sadiq is situation proof. Would you rather have him or Tyler Warren or McBride or Bowers? That's the category that it sees to be. I think
I'm thinking from a normal fantasy football perspective where these guys would be going. With Kenyon Sadiq in the draft, wherever the hell he goes, you are an idiot to draft Brock Bowers round 2 or Trey McBride. You are an absolute fool. Wait, Kenyon Sadiq round 9. Boom. You have tight end 4 on the year in round 9. Yeah, that's the pick.
Okay.
I love me rookie tight ends.
Well, now what about from a dynasty? Year? What about from a dynasty perspective?
Like, when I'm thinking dynasty, I'm thinking more so of like the other guys that will be going around his range in the dynasty draft itself. And on that end, hey, everyone's different. What do you value in tight end? For me, I'm personally on the side of like, I don't give a shit about tight end. The gap between tight end 28 and tight end 2 is less than the gap between tight end 2 and tight end 1. I don't care. So for me personally, yeah, I'm taking Carnell Tate over Kenyon Sadiq. Like, what the hell? Thank you. Give that to me, please. I'd be considering Jadarian Price over Kenyon Sadiq. Like, yeah, I think give me that, actually. I just don't really find tight end that valuable unless you have Brock Bowers. But that's how I am. So, but if I were like comparing him specifically to these other tight ends, I'd put him over Warren. I'd put him over who else? Is
McBride and Bowers.
Okay, you can't put him over McBride or Bowers. Those are 1 and 2. I think he'd be okay having him 3 right now. I'd have him a bit ahead of Loveland. I'd have him a bit ahead of Warren. Kraft is Kraft is a guy where shit. If you had Trey McBride, I think, and we know Tyler Kraft's playing. I think I might suggest you to go trade Trey McBride for Tucker Kraft in like a second and a first. I don't know, not both, but yeah, bro. I just don't really care about tight end that much.
Yeah, clearly. What was your counter question? I'm guessing it was not on subject on fantasy football subject.
It was going to be. I thought you were going to ask me Kenyon Sadiq where he was going to be drafted, and my question was going to be where was he mocked pre-combine, because I don't really know.
The Vikings somehow like.
I saw Chargers taking him, and I was like, guys, I can't do this anymore. I can't if they draft him.
I've seen some Vikings, and I'm just like, guys, I have said that I thought that we should cut TJ Hawkinson or trade him because the cap hits 21 mil and his production has faded over the last year and a half because of injuries, etc. Apparently, we're keeping him, so we're going to renegotiate or restructure. God, I hope it's a renegotiate. But I've really seen it more so Vikings in the late first round, like kind of after like pick 20. So we'll see. I'm guessing his stock will rise now after this. And
I think when you also consider this class, like he could like Warren last year went 15? Loveland went 10. I mean, if you're telling me Sadiq is going 10, I'm not shocked at all.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be. And I think this gets into the point that like combine stuff is really important. It's not really important. It's important. The individual pro days that the schools host are more important. The combine just kind of promotes which guys you should go and see for the school.
And it's just a big spectacle.
And yeah, it makes money and all this stuff.
It's easy for the scouts.
And to be honest, the combine, Grant, it's really not for the NFL teams. It's not about the guys down
Oh,
there. Like,
it's
sure
for
you have
us.
you have scouts and stuff looking at them. All those guys are talking to each other about free agency stuff, Grant.
It's
Like they're
marketing. The NFL with the combine, they are marketing their new assets to us.
no,
Okay,
100%. And Madden
that's
does
what they do.
scans there and stuff. But like for the coaches and the GMs that are there, they might watch some of this. But Grant, they're all there talking to each other about, hey, is this guy available? Like, would you trade this guy? Who do you? Let's talk to this agent. This guy's agent is also Kirk Cousins' agent. Does he want to sign with us when they get cut? Like, that's what's going on behind the scenes. Like, it's all the Montgomery trade this morning, Grant, that happened, or the Titus Howard trade that also happened. Those both were probably talked about at the combine. Like that's where they probably started talking.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, I think it's what you were saying right there. Like the NFL combine, like that is for us.
No, 100%.
So,
And like it helps,
no
and like they obviously use all this stuff when they talk about prospects when you go and actually have the draft, and it's good to know because like you'll kind of have an idea like here athletically how guys stack or not, and the draft. The mock drafts will all change with it, but I'm like, to be honest, this is why mock drafts are really hard to predict until like the last 2.5 weeks before the draft.
I feel like
because all this stuff happens behind closed doors that you don't know about. And it's really you have to be athletic and like stuff, but like Carnell Tate's 4.55 might drop into like pick 26 in somebody's mock and he's going to go pick 12. Like, it doesn't exactly translate.
Like I was looking back, I thought this was false. Like, CD ran a 4.5.
Oh no, I didn't, but I guess I forgot.
I was like, oh wow, he did.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That's crazy.
I didn't think. Yeah.
Yeah, but like a lot of this really doesn't matter. Like a lot of people will be like, oh my god, he ran a 4.29. Like he's gonna go first round. No, and also we've seen that happen, and it doesn't really go well. So
yeah, no, like
if people really like Chris Johnson's different, but like John Ross, bust. Will Fuller,
I'd say
injury
this,
prone, bust.
when a guy shows up to the combine with hype already based off what he did on the field, and then slaughters the combine, that's just like the cherry on top.
I agree with that. Yeah,
confirm it. No questions asked. But now the two differences, when you have a guy like a Carnell Tate projected to go super high, doesn't meet your combine expectations. Us, NFL fandom community, mock drafters, we overreact to that and now drop Carnell Tate much more than what NFL teams actually think. And then also on the flip side, when you have a guy without much production in college who slaughters the draft combine, slaughters the combine, all the measurements, we are going to prop that guy up way more than what the NFL scouts actually believe.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's just like overall, like when you said the first part, if you have on-field film and you're like a guy and you come and kill the combine, like think about Isaac Arienda, right? That guy had film. It wasn't recognized, it just wasn't super well known. Like he was good on film, but then came and slaughtered the combines. Like being good on film doesn't mean you go to a P4 blue chip like school, like an Ohio State, a Michigan, a UCLA, a USC, a Texas, a Georgia, an Alabama, et cetera. Like you could go to Boise State. You could go to, a Utah State, et cetera. And as long as you have good film and you kill it, like that's going to really help. But I don't think that it really knocks super. Like if you're a first round projected guy and you don't do super well at the combine, I don't think it knocks you in the first round. But if you go and do private workouts and you don't do well in private workouts, we have questions. That's when the questions really come in. And that's when I think the rise and lows happen, is when you have those private workouts and those school pro days. And that makes a bigger thing because it's a home environment a lot of the time, or it's individual a lot of the time. And
yeah, I'd say those are big contributors. I'd say another thing is like when you hear about some injury thing. So Caleb Downs right now has a potential, what's the verbiage they use? A degenerative tissue?
Yes, degenerative tissue issue in his ACL, in his knees.
Yeah, so like my first thought when I'm looking at this is this, I don't think he'll fall as much when you look at the class, but this might be Will Johnson 2.0. everyone's concerned over something, and then they strap up on the field, and it's like, oh my God, Will Johnson's
Well,
a,
to
oh
be
my
honest,
God.
that's why Will Johnson fell last year, and
Yeah.
like nobody really knew until the draft. Um, Will Johnson's still that guy. He might not be able to play for more than 6 years, Grant. Like he'll get to the second contract, and then maybe 2 years into that, I mean, it's gone. But if a dude can play, like Tajay Spears, great example of this, Grant. Tajay Spears, great example of this. He was flagged as having essentially no ACLs in his knees. Um, yeah, he can still ball, Grant. I'm not super concerned about his ACLs, to be honest. Um, so
Oh yeah.
it's just, I think he'll fall a little bit because there are always injury weary teams. But like, in no way do I think that this is a guy where you're just like, oh yeah, no, he's going to the second round. Corner's a little bit different because corner, your knees are super important for leverage and for get offs and stuff. Maybe I can understand a little bit more, but for safety, even if you play maybe nickel, like I'm not super concerned about that.
Yeah, like I think it's like I just saw those three Ohio State guys. I was bringing this up to you earlier, but Sonny, Carnell Tate, uh, and then Caleb Downs. I feel pretty confident Carnell Tate and Caleb Downs are gonna have the best NFL careers. Feel pretty confident in that.
Out of the Ohio State guys,
Out of those three, Sonny,
no,
Carnell, and Caleb Downs, I'm pretty confident Carnell and Caleb Downs are gonna have better careers than Sonny, even though
now
they didn't look great.
do you say that because
Of what I saw
of
them playing football. So
okay?
that's number one. Carnell Tate's just that dude's just real. All right, like I don't have any bad things to say about him. That dude just went through so much through his Ohio State career and never complaining, ever accepting being a backup for his first years, doesn't care at all. Like Carnell Tate, if anything, I'm more so afraid of like he may just go to a shitty franchise and then it's just done. So like that's like my biggest concern with
So you're
him
saying more so because
being a
of
receiver.
situation? You
Yeah,
saying that? Yeah, okay.
yeah, and also when considering the position they play, like in the NFL, middle linebacker in the NFL, like that's like one of the most physically demanding things on the
No,
planet.
true. It's
And
very demanding.
like,
It is also like very undervalued. People like Fred Warner has the market right now, but like there's I think two linebackers currently. There will be three. I think Devin Lloyd will also get in the 20s, but there's only two linebackers right now. I think getting paid in 20 plus mil.
yeah, it's just not like a premium position you want to pay right now.
Which is crazy because I mean, it should be like linebackers are a really large part of
I think
your
it's primarily just
ability.
the injury thing. Like
Well,
you
that
just
and
get
we've talked about
hurt
this before too, though. Like
so
you
easily.
can't be Ray Lewis anymore. You can't go and
Yeah, yeah.
hit a
Like
guy hard
NFL
over the middle of the
rule
route,
changes
middle of the field.
has devalued. Same thing with like a running back as well. It's just how the NFL has changed. You can't hit guys over the middle. So those enforcer middle linebacker, Ray Lewis, Brian Cushing type of players, you can't play like that. If you want to cover the middle, you actually now need to be as fast as that tight end running
Which
big.
Sonny
That's
Styles
how you
can
cover
do
it
right
now.
now. Sonny Styles can do right now, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so like that's another thing with Sonny. Like if I'm coaching Sonny, like, oh boy, you would love having him play your deep Tampa 2 middle hook. Like you would love that. He could do that shit all day.
yeah,
So yeah, like Sonny, it's more so like an injury concern. He never had injury problems at Ohio State. Knock on wood. Don't want that to show up. But I just can't deny at that position, you're going to be just taking more hits every game, and there's just a higher chance you're going to get hurt. And so, like, that's also factored in. But, like, my last thing is just, like, football IQ and smartness. Like, Caleb Downs, that guy is the smartest football player I've ever seen at Ohio State. Like,
which says a lot.
off the
That says a
charts
lot.
intelligence and, like, curiosity to learn more. Like, what impressed me the most is hearing, like, Ohio State DB coach Tim Walton be like, yeah, I mean, Caleb, he makes my job, I like it, but he makes my job a bit harder because he's constantly making me ask myself, why do I do these drills? Like what am I getting out of my guys doing certain things? And he's like, Caleb is the one player that by nature of how he operates, the questions he asks, like asking, why are we doing this?
Now,
Like
I
it
will
makes
just
the
say
coaches
this.
think more and be a better coach. So
I will
yeah.
say this. So Caleb Caleb Downs, in my mind, is still the clear, regardless of knee issues, whatever, still the clear safety one in the draft because just the
Who even
film.
is the next safety?
I'm getting there. The film and everything and the intelligence just stands out so much. Now, Grant, the second safety, at least for me in my mind, that is for the draft is Dylan Thieneman, who is Oregon safety. At least this past year, he transferred in 2023. Transferred after the 2023 season from Purdue to Oregon.
Yep. Yep.
At Purdue as a true freshman, he had 6 interceptions that year. Fucking good for true freshman safety.
That's very good.
But here's the thing. In Indy, he did really well in his drills. He ran a 4.3540 at 6 foot, 200 pounds, had a 41-inch vertical, a 10'5" broad jump.
I didn't know he had a 41-inch vert.
He had a 41-inch vert and was just very good. He's very good film, very good ball skills. Did well in the interviews, all that stuff. So I wouldn't necessarily be surprised as of this moment if that continues to peak and we find some level where maybe some teams start, if not already, to prefer him over Caleb Downs, which in my mind is crazy. But
yeah, I think he's definitely second safety.
That athleticism there combined with potential, maybe people just seeing injury risk in Caleb Downs might be like, we're going to go that way over it. I wouldn't really understand it for me, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, I would say I kind of agree with you. I don't know exactly how teams are putting that much into Caleb Downs' injury. I think Caleb Downs is just better than Thieneman.
I agree. I fully agree.
Yeah. I think though if there's 2 other safeties, and I have no idea where they're like ranked on the safety prospect listing, but just 2 other guys that I know are dogs. First, Xavier Nwankpa out of Iowa, an absolute dog. This guy's straight dog. Ohio State wanted him so bad. He stayed at home, his hometown, Iowa. That's his closest college team from Iowa as well. He is another guy that a smart football player. He didn't test excellent. Like I'm looking at his stuff now. I think he ran 37.5-inch vert. I think he ran like a 4.48. So he's not, 4.48. So not like jumping off the page athleticism or anything, but as we were just talking about, football IQ, being a football player, I think at safety at that position, especially right now how the NFL is played with the amount of movement back there, you need to be smart and you need to be efficient in how you play safety. And Nwankpa's another guy that fits that mold perfectly. I have no idea where he's mocked, any hype or anything. So, he could be the third safety on the board.
I think
like,
what I've seen right now for the third safety is the guy out of Toledo, Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
I'm not going to lie and sit here and act like I know anything, but at this point, we trust Toledo DBs at this point.
I don't really know that much either. I do know that he was projected a first-round guy, didn't do as well in the combine as people kind of thought, but he's 6'4" and 200 pounds as a safety. 35-inch vertical jump, which was really low, 10'2" broad jump, third lowest, ran a 4.5340. So like not like popping off the page athletically speaking from the combine, but film always speaks more volume than the combine and individual drills do. So
I'm thinking just at safety specifically too.
Kyle Hamilton ran like a 4.540 as well.
Another thing is like a lot of these safeties, they have a lot of college experience.
100%.
That's one position that in college football,
and honestly,
you
really,
as a freshman, if you're the best safety, you're playing.
As a safety, Grant, the only time you'll ever need to have speed is if you need to catch back up. Like if you over pursue and you need to get back, or you're trying to crash the line from the top. Like
I think is that, or
how often are you going to do
these
that?
Rotating schemes with the safeties moving a lot? It's just quick snap of the ball movement.
Still, it's just like you should really not, like, obviously closing speed's important to make a tackle or something, but like you shouldn't be putting yourself in a position where you, as a safety, if you're back at like a too high, you shouldn't be in a position where you really need to sprint your fastest speed.
Well, it's like some of these guys back there just key so fast.
Oh, I know,
And
100%.
they are
But
shot out of a cannon.
I'm more so saying that in a way where it's like that means somebody's behind you as a safety.
I'm remembering the Super. Oh yeah, I'm remembering the Super Bowl play. Hit stick over the middle. That safety comes up. All right.
Talking about this past Super Bowl?
Yes, 2 weeks
Okay.
ago.
More than 2 weeks ago. More than 2 weeks ago.
I forget who made the hit. But like these safeties right now in the NFL, my goodness, freak closing speed.
It was probably like Kobe Durant or.
And the other thing is like when teams are running so much zone now, which like I was about to like explain that they run a lot of zone, okay, and when they're running a lot of zone, and you have guys, their eyes are downfield. They're not necessarily in a man, but like they're not traveling. They're not following their receipt. They're sitting in their zone, eyes downfield. Like how you stick out in those zone heavy schemes is the IQ and speed combined. Like going and making a tackle, making a play, breaking on the ball quick, and being able. It seems like the receiver's open, but they're not because I'm fast and I will get there.
No, yeah, that makes a difference.
It's like messing with the windows of the timing for the quarterbacks, and yeah, so like, it's not everything. Like you don't need to be blazing speed to be able to make these quick decisions back there. Don't get me wrong, but I think Nwangba kind of fits in there. Caleb Downs, another one of those players. Thieneman, he might be that combo of IQ and closing speed. He might be. So there's that to consider.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what way the teams kind of go this year based on at least the combine. We'll have more stuff as we get closer to the draft, anyways.
I'd say the last thing I want to say about Caleb Downs is specifically this last year. Defenses were just like, oh, Caleb Downs is over here. Okay, we're not passing to there. Like, erase the dig, Fernando. If Caleb's covering him, you're not throwing that shit to Downs. And like, it was almost a lack of production because he was getting avoided on the field and they were not.
No, that's true. It's just going to be it's just going to be interesting to see. I don't know. There's a combination of a lot of different guys. Like even Sonny Styles, like Tech might be somebody might draft him as a safety too, Grant. Like we will see.
Don't put anything past Brick, guys. Don't put anything past Brick.
But that is the combine breakdown for.
Shit. I did just say last set. Igbinosin, I don't know where he's going, but that's a guy where I think he'll probably fall like day 3, 4. Oh, that guy's a baller. I hope Chargers don't necessarily need, but shit, add him to the room. I'm down for it. He's a baller. My big thing about him is the arm length. He has some of the longest arms in NFL.
That was the other thing.
History.
You were talking to me about this last week. There are linemen specifically, way more linemen right now with just freakishly long limbs. Yeah. Obviously, Ruben
blowing my mind.
Not an example of that. He's got a little T-Rex arms, but I feel like that's a little bit easier as a D lineman than an O lineman to have T-Rex baby arms. But
D lineman, like you are initiating the contact on the pass rush.
You might have to get a lot closer.
Getting underneath the pass. Like I will say though, with Bane. How he plays, it is vicious bull rushing, okay? He is attacking chest, stabbing through you, and he is motoring you back, okay? He is pushing you back with his legs. Like, Ruben Bain, I think, hey, there's going to be concerns about arm length, fair.
He's film always speaks more volume. Ever. Like, I'll be honest, it matters, but NFL teams, if you can ball, who the fuck cares? Like, you're still going to get drafted.
He reminds me of a little bit of Melvin Ingram off the edge, if you remember him.
If I remember him, Grant.
Just make it sure. Just make it sure.
Well, who do you take me for?
Edge,
who do you think I am?
Power. Ooh. Ruben Bain, I absolutely love. Absolutely love.
Melvin Ingram.
I'm also pretty
You think I'm uncultured?
Linemen. Hey, sometimes you gotta make sure. As a Chargers fan, there's some guys where I remember him a little bit more.
As a Charger, I mean, I know, but come on, man.
Hey, sometimes I get a little carried away with guys where I'm like, oh yeah, no, like you probably wouldn't exactly know what exactly went down with I don't know, Aloy Gilman in certain years. Specific moments where, hey, I'm talking Chargers and I need to speak in
He's
English.
not even,
So
dude, he's played for more teams than just the Chargers. The Chargers weren't even
I'm
who he
aware.
started for originally.
I'm aware. I'm just remembering
He
back
was in
to
my
those years.
conference,
Boy,
my
that
division.
boy, fierce motor, and so that's what Room reminds me of. But
Do I remember Melvin Ingram? Okay. With that, that's like, do I remember Ziggy Ansah? Yeah, I fucking remember Ziggy Ansah.
oh no,
Uh,
now that one, erase that, wipe that shit, just clear that one. Yeah, no, that one we shouldn't remember him.
Ziggy? No, you always remember Ziggy. Always remember Ziggy.
I can't believe
Uh,
you're defending Lions boy right now. Like
well,
what
I
year
was
is
just
it?
going. You were talking about other Lions boys, so I just thought I put it in the same barrel. But it's okay. It's all right. Okay. With that, though, we'll probably wrap up the episode here. We'll have more breakdowns, more information, more basketball, baseball, basketball. We're not even talking about the NBA. The season hasn't even started yet. But we'll talk about the baseball, World Baseball Classic next week.
Yeah, I'd
And
say
we'll
in
give
news in the NBA, I think Jared Vanderbilt might actually be like the fourth most valuable player on the team. There was a heated argument between JJ and Luca, and Jared Vanderbilt knows what he's doing. Jared Vanderbilt steps up perfectly from the bench, clapping on his teammates. He knows he's blocking Luca from shit talking JJ back. Those are the
things
things
are
that
going
go
well.
unnoticed. Those are
Things
the
are
things that
going
go unnoticed. Okay.
clearly well in the NBA. SGA flopping per usual.
I'm not
Jalen Williams
sure.
getting in a fight with
I think
and then
Joe
posting after the
Mazzulla
fact too.
I think Joe Maz might be the only coach that gets along with his players in the NBA. Literally, I don't know if there's
Yeah,
another
Finch
coach.
Finch was beefing with Ant too this past week.
Oh yeah, I mean, right now that whole scene. Oh goodness, I mean, and college basketball right now is crazy. Shout out
With
CBM.
March Madness coming up
What
soon
is
too.
going on, Chad?
I know.
Chad Baker Mazzara. What are we doing? Okay.
Yeah. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TW, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me around on Twitter at Ever6 and at Waterboy Grant. Post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. We also post exclusive content on TikTok and Instagram as well. So make sure to check us out there so you don't miss anything else. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.